So speaking of refusing to back down, I would like to introduce to you now a very strong and courageous woman who is going to speak to you about her personal experience of losing her husband to younger onset Alzheimer's disease. Please welcome to the stage Pat Martin.
Thank you, Karen. 2 forks and a plate and a knife and a spoon. That's how my husband Bill set the table one night for 3 of us in 2004. And that's the night when my daughter Liz, who was 14 at the time, said, "You know, something's really wrong with Dad, and I think it's bad." My husband Bill and I were living a typical life like all of you do in this valley. We had 2 busy careers. We were volunteering. Our twins were getting ready to go to high school. And Bill started having some difficulty with his speech. He had difficulty finding words, and he had difficulty understanding things that were said to him. It showed up at work, and it showed up at home. So Bill and I talked about it, and he said, "Well, I guess I better go to the doctor." Well, he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Well, you know, you're in your early 50s. You know, you've got a lot of stress. This could just be stress, could be depression. Let's try some drugs and see what happens." Well, those antidepressants didn't work, and Bill got worse. And so back we went to the doctor. And Bill was eventually diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia. It's an atypical form of Alzheimer's disease that happens to younger people, and it affects the frontotemporal lobe of your brain first. So you lose that ability to speak first before it moves on to other areas of your brain. Bill had to retire at age 55 because he could no longer do his job, and I had to retire to take care of him. I was 49. At first we were mad, we were shocked. Life was not taking the plan that we thought life was going to take. But then we learned to accept. And we started tailoring our activities to the things that Bill could do and Bill could enjoy. We went to sporting events, we traveled while we could. We went to museums, we went to parks, especially rose gardens. Bill could actually focus on a rose in a rose garden and literally stop to smell the roses. We enrolled Bill at the Alzheimer's Activity Center so he could participate in activities that were still appropriate for a person who was only 60. They were active. He played bocce ball, he played basketball. And that gave me an opportunity for respite. The demands of caregiving were difficult, but I utilized the resources of the Alzheimer's Association and support groups to help get me through. Eventually, I had to make a difficult decision to put Bill in residential care because I could no longer care for him at home, but I knew that I was putting him in the hands of very loving and caring professionals. Well, Bill's journey came to an end June 6th of this year, 10 minutes shy of his 64th birthday. And that's sad. But you know, this journey was not all bad. For me as a person, it's fundamentally changed me. I'm a more compassionate person than I used to be. I can accept help better than I used to be able to. I got to visit a lot of places I never would have visited, these rose gardens and museums and things that probably we never would have done. And through support groups and other activities, I have met some people that will be friends for the rest of my life. But that being said, and all of you know this because you're all connected to this disease in some way, that's why you're here. This is not a journey we want people to have to take, because their journey is awful, and the journey of all those around them is very, very difficult. I've heard that if we don't find a cure for this disease by 2050, over 13 million people will have it. And that's just not acceptable. So I just want to thank all of you for being here today. It's So let's find a cure to end this disease and create memories for people instead of robbing them of it. Thank you very much.